The USA is $22 trillion in debt. That is almost equal to its GDP of $23 trillion. The debt was not a problem as long as the USA remained the sole superpower and had credibility across the world. But in the past 15 years, that has changed. The USA has lost all credibility and moral leadership since the deception of Iraq and Afghanistan wars and subsequent events in Libya, Syria and Palestine. No one really can trust the USA anymore as the protector of democracy and peace. Enter Russia, Turkey and China, collectively strong contenders for the stabilizing the world in the 21st century as a combined. The writing is on the wall. Russia reportedly continued the sell-off of its U.S. bond holdings even as the Russian central bank's foreign exchange and gold reserves grew in value to the equivalent of $500 billion. The share of yuan-denominated assets among Russia's gold and foreign exchange reserves has climbed to about 15% since 2018. Over the past year, Russia has increased the share of holdings in Chinese assets, with approximately 15% of total investments from gold and foreign currency reserves held in RMB. A decline of dollar-denominated assets and the rise of gold and other foreign currencies in Russia's reserves has been observed since 2017. Over the past 2 years, Russia has shaved its U.S. bond, currency and other dollar-denominated holdings from over $92 billion to just $12.136 billion as of April 2019. The dollar is on a slide and eventually destined to crash as a result of the huge U.S. debt and reckless policies of hate, division and isolation. The U.S. just can't keep printing dollars anymore and hope for demand from wars-stricken regions with these totally absurd policies. The threat of Iran invasion was a half-hearted attempt by U.S. hawks to convince the world that they have clout, which has now become obvious that the USA doesn't anymore. The missile attack on Saudi oil wells a few months ago by Yemen was the nail in the coffin to satisfy the doubters. No country trembles anymore when U.S. aircraft carriers come rumbling to their coast. The Republicans in past 2 decades have degraded the USA and played their hand and have been called. The damage is done. It is serious and deep and will take decades to repair, if at all, as long as the policies of cheating in elections, bribing foreign governments to swing elections, promoting white supremacy and hate, trade protectionism and isolation, division of economic classes etc. continue by Republican. This currency move by Turkey and Malaysia is wise and seems to be backed by China and Russia. The world needs stability and a reasonable amount of sane leadership, and with this move the world may have that.